Hey everybody, Gunnison Undercover here. Today is September 30th, I believe, 2018. It's Sunday. Beautiful day here in New Jersey. It's cooling off, lots of sunshine, really a nice day. So this video here, I am going to talk to you residents of Englishtown, New Jersey. Video is for you. Let's talk about your police department. Better yet, I'll let you know what some other people think of your police department. I did a video the other day out at Englishtown, just testing the officers to see how they handle the First Amendment and cameras. Now, they passed with flying colors. Thumbs up to them. I posted the video. It's on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel. You can find it there. But let me read what some of the people said. This comes from Alex Paletti. I'm in Manalapan, about 30 seconds away from where you were. Wish I saw you guys there. I would have stopped to say hello. I bypass this town at all times. Let me repeat that. I bypass this town at all times. I drive around it to take my kids to their games at the Manalapan Recreation Center. Their town is the size of a postage stamp, yet they have a pretty decent sized police force. They pull everybody, and I am not kidding, anybody that drives through that town gets pulled over. They are so aggressive and out of control. You will never drive through Englishtown and not see at least 2 cars pulled over, even though it's 5 city blocks wide. One day, the chief was standing out front on the sidewalk with officers standing all around. It was during the Nationals at Englishtown track. It was bumper-to-bumper traffic through the main street, and he was literally pointing at cars and then pointing to the parking lot of the police station, one after another, and getting people for inspection stickers and anything he could see, seatbelts. It was literally an impromptu traffic trap. He motioned me to get over and yelled to the officer I was driving with, my knees not using my hands, even though we were in traffic under 1 mile an hour. I took my seatbelt off while talking to the officer he summoned over to me. They let me go, and as I was pulling back out of the police station, my car was halfway onto the road. Still bumper-to-bumper traffic. The chief yelled out he didn't put a seatbelt back on, issued him a ticket. The officer literally walked 20 feet down the sidewalk, knocked on my window, pulled me over and issued a ticket for seatbelt. I loathe them. Every surrounding town knows the situation only goes there when your destination is there. Otherwise, everybody, and I mean everybody, detours. Let me get to another one. This is from Steve T. You are 100% right. Haven't been to the flea market this year, but over the years I've seen it bumper to bumper, like you said, pulling everybody over. That was response to what I just read. Let me move along. Joe Frankly, isn't this the town the chief's wife is on council? And he goes on here, I looked up Ted. He actually was a good guy. He actually cared about Monmouth County. Why is chief working on Saturday? Question mark. Overtime? Question mark. Good question. There's one other thing I want to go to. This is from Green Leader. Every time I go to the racetrack there, I get pulled over for no reason. Keep an eye on those clowns. What I'm getting at, folks, is your town, Englishtown, police are known for being pirates. They're there to steal money, extort money. And you want to know why they extort money? It has nothing to do with breaking laws. It has to do with them. They need to generate money because your town is broke. You have a police department that's out of control, folks. You have a acting chief, Peter J. Cooke Jr. You know him, right? He got promoted to acting chief. He's not really a chief, he's an acting chief. He was a lieutenant, now he's an acting chief. He's still getting $89,000 a year. He didn't get that promotion he thought he was going to get. Maybe he realized the town is broken. They don't have any more money to give to him. So the reason why the police are out there harassing every motorist that comes through this town is because they have to generate money. And if they don't generate this money, they're not going to be able to support the police department, because there's just not enough taxes in the town to pay for the police department. Did you think about that, folks? So is your chief really serving you, or is he serving himself? If you ask my opinion, he's serving himself. He knows if they don't generate money that he could lose his job. The police department could be shut down, because it's not cost effective to have a police department monitoring a town the size, as one person said, a postage stamp. So they're not out there enforcing laws to keep the town safe, because the town, just by proximity, is a safe town. Very little in the way of crime. Very little. I challenge the chief to break the statistics out. Show us how much crime's in that town. But they're out there doing revenue enforcement, and that's what it's called, right, chief? Revenue enforcement. They must generate money for the town so they can continue the police department. They generate money through tickets, and they generate money through people who have to go to court. The court is another place they got to generate money. So now we're going to get on to the next subject here, residents of Englishtown. Let's talk about your town. On Wikipedia, I believe it's the census of 2010, the population was under 1,900. So let's call it, with the population grows, let's just call it under 2,000. Your town, according to Wikipedia, is 0.586 square miles, with a tiny bit of that attributed to water. Your town, as of 2010, had 647 housing units. The average household income was $57,000. Your police department has about 8 officers. And I believe 1 or 2 of them is a special officer, special class 2, class 1, I'm not sure on that. I know one of the officers just left to go to another town. So you have a acting police chief being paid $89,000 to oversee 6, 7 officers? Are you for real? Now, I was there on Saturday, September 28th, and I saw your police chief there. I saw Sergeant DiNicola there. I saw 2 other officers there. So, literally half the police force was working Saturday. So my question is, what were they doing? All 4 of them. The chief had to be there to supervise them? Was there that much crime going on Saturday, September 28th, that you need 4 police officers there? We all know why they were there. There was an event going on over at the racetrack, and the flea market was jumping due to the nice weather. They were there to do revenue enforcement. Let me continue, Englishtown. I'm going to give you a comparison town. Lake Como, located here in Monmouth County. It's also known as South Belmar, but it's now known as Lake Como. Population, according to Wikipedia, 1,800. So let's call it let's call it for safekeeping's under 2,000. The average income in Lake Como is $76,000 versus $50,000 in Englishtown. It is also the 10th smallest in land in the county. It has approximately 785 households, as opposed to 647 at Englishtown. It is approximately 2.65 square miles. It's half the square miles of Englishtown, with a portion of that, actually a little more of that, going to water. They had, at the time, a 10-member police force. It cost the taxpayers $2.4 million to maintain that police department year-round. In the summer, they hire special officers because of the influx of vacationers. But $2.4 million for a 10-man police department to patrol a .265 square mile town. So let's continue with this story about Lake Como. The police department had a little problem a while back. They couldn't keep within the budget constraints. There's a cap on how big the budget can grow every year. They couldn't do it. They had a town meeting. You can look it up. This is on Google. You can Google it. They had a town meeting trying to figure out how they could reach this budget for the police department. They couldn't do it in taxes. That's already been set. They couldn't do it with dog licenses. Only so many dogs in town. There was only one other way, in my opinion, that they could generate more money, and they pretty much are generating all they could generate, and that's through ticketing, revenue enforcement. So the wise people of Lake Como decided enough was enough. They were not going to support a $2.4 million 10-member police department that's patrolling a .265 square mile town. The town voted to disband the police department. They contracted, I'm trying to get the right word out here, they contracted with Belmar Police Department to do the patrolling. Belmar's right next to Lake Como. So the deal was Lake Como would pay 25% of Belmar's police budget. It worked out to $914,438. So that's $914,438 that the town was now going to pay to have their town patrolled, as opposed to $2.4 million for a 10-member police force. And remember now, this $0.24 million, it doesn't specify whether that includes the pension money that the town has to continue to pay into. So you got to remember, when you hire these people, it's just not the salary that's going along with it. It's the pension you're paying into. It's the health insurance, the budget for all that stuff. So Lake Como cut their police budget from $2.4 million to a little under $1 million. The taxpayers of Lake Como now enjoyed a decrease for the first time in years. A decrease in their property taxes. That is the deal that Lake Como made with Belmar in a nutshell. You can go online, the contract's there if you want to read it. It's right on there. So I want to say this to you, Englishtown. I want to put this question in your head. Why are you paying for a police department? Now, I understand the police budget is somewhere around $3 million. This is for 8 police officers, 9 police officers. So, I want to say this to you, Englishtown. You are a mirror, almost a mirror image of Lake Como. So ask yourself, why are you paying for a police department? Why do you need it? To all you residents out there, how many times in the year have you called the police department? 0? None? You call them for a first aid call? You call them because your neighbor's dog got loose? So think about it. You're paying almost $3 million, or probably $3 million, to have 8 or 9 police officers drive around in circles and harass motorists to generate money. I'm going to leave you with this, Englishtown taxpayers. Your police chief, acting police chief over there, he's thinking about himself. He's not thinking about you, okay? He's thinking about that $89,000 a year that he's getting. He's thinking about himself. He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about himself. Because the bottom line is, Englishtown, you don't need a police department. You'd be better off financially having a more diverse and well-equipped police department such as Manalapan, which is a fine police department with great equipment to come in and answer your call needs. Why are you paying for this chief who's unhappy right now that he didn't get a raise? He got a job title promotion, but he didn't get a raise. Why are you paying for him? This is not a personal thing about the chief. I don't know the chief. I'm looking at this from a monetary point of view. Why are you paying for a police department? You paying for a police department to ride around and harass people in their cars? You all know what I'm talking about. Every one of you people in Englishtown know exactly what I'm talking about. They ride around and they harass people coming through your town. You got people coming in there to go to the auction. They wanted to go to the racetrack. They're going in there to visit friends, relatives, maybe stop at one of the businesses there. They provide jobs to people. And they got to worry about being harassed by a cop who drives around in circles. I mean, I don't know how many miles of streets there are in Englishtown. I can't imagine they have more than 3 miles of streets. So these cops are literally tripping over each other. And when I was there on Saturday, you know what I saw your chief do? I didn't see him do a whole lot in the hour or two that I was there with my fellow camera people. I saw the chief go into the liquor store and come back out with a can of soda, Pepsi. A few minutes later, he came back and got himself a 12-pack of Pepsi. That's all I saw him do. I didn't see him do anything else. So my question is, why were there 4 police officers on a Saturday afternoon there? Why? I would think it would be better to have them at nighttime when it would be more likely for some kind of crime to happen at night. But no, they're all there in the day. And my question is, how much overtime are you paying that chief to come in there? I mean, if you got 8 or 9 police officers, maybe less than that, I mean, how are you figuring the schedule out over there? So somebody's obviously getting overtime. Think about it, residents of Englishtown. It's time for you to disband your police department. It's not cost effective. It's breaking your piggy bank for them to have them there. And the only thing that police department is doing is serving the people that work there. And the way I see it, they can go work somewhere else. They've got good credentials. They got experience in there. Let them go work for another town. Okay? You don't get up in the morning and go work hard just so Mr. Cooke can have a job or Mr. Coley can ride around out there. And I'll just finish this thing up because this comes to my mind. They're out there doing all this revenue enforcement. Well, let me tell you something, residents of Englishtown. 2 times, count my fingers, 1, 2. Twice, I caught their officers riding around without their seatbelts on. It's documented, it's on video, and most recently now. These are the same cops riding around giving you a ticket, and they can't abide by it themselves, and I'm not saying all of them. But the 2 times that I was out there, most recently and a couple months back, they didn't know, before they knew I was there, I caught them without their seatbelts on. Isn't that right, Mr. Sergeant DiNicola? Caught you without your seatbelt on. How many tickets did you hand out that day for seatbelt? Englishtown residents, taxpayers, disband your police department. It's a waste of money. It could be money spent or spent elsewhere. Hire Manalapan to come in and do your police work. This is Gunnison Undercover. Let me know what you think, residents. We're going to keep an eye on this. It's not fair you got to pay all this money out so Mr. Cooke can get an $89,000 a year paycheck and his wife can sit there and get $3,500 and be on town council and vote for everything that he likes to do. That's another subject. We'll get on that for another day. It's Gunnison Undercover.